Hi guys, I'm Mantikai and I stream live to the Dragon Horde over on Twitch TV, as you can see there by the logo. But today I wanted to do something a little different and put together a learning video here on the island, showing people where they can find each of the 10 different artifacts, give some different tips and tricks on the various caves, and give you a more updated knowledge of how this might work for you. I am doing this on some heavily modded servers that we use for our subs and we play and kind of hang out with. So you may not have access to some of the resources that I do, but the basics are there, the location, the methodology in which you can do the caves all remains the same. So we're just going to dive straight into it, and if you do have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments section and I'll try and get back around to replying to everyone that I can. So right here we are on the island. As I said, you'll already see a couple of things you may not be familiar with. The location up in the top left corner and the blue circle in the middle. This is the awesome Spyglass mod, but it will give you the location of each of the caves with the exact coordinates as I go around to them. Right now we're up in the top corner of the map on what is lovingly referred to as Carnivore Island, the northwest corner up here, and this is where we're going to start with the first of our 10 artifacts. So right here I'm in the center of the island. And there's the main section of the main island. If I come over to this side, and you'll see a small island off to the side with some ruins on it. This is where we're going to be able to go in and find the first cave. So you can see the entrance point right here is 1485. That's the direct entrance point for this particular cave. We'll chuck our dino in a Pokeball here, make sure nothing happens to them. Fairly certain nothing on this server could damage that dino, but it's always good to be safe. So with this cave, there are a number of ways to do it. It's quite straightforward at the beginning here. You're going to come on through. Nothing special at first. The first little trick is a little bit of a swim. You're either going to need a scuba suit or advanced oxygen, and if you don't know where you're going, it can be easy to get turned around in here and drown, which is obviously not optimal. Or you can have a tech suit like I do. Tech suit is an advanced unlock that you will get from beating later bosses. There are a lot of bats in all of these caves, a lot of scorpions, a lot of centipedes. Centipedes are going to be one of your biggest concerns because they will destroy your armor, and of course bats are always a concern as well. The actual artifact is right down there. You can drop off this edge and fall into where the artifact is, and then get it that way and work your way back out. But if you do that, you are going to have a significant amount of bats chasing you down. Easiest way is to bring a dino in here. These days you can do this using Pokeballs. Let's just put this guy on neutral really quickly here. I find a Thylacolli is probably one of the easiest. If you do have access to the new map, the Lost Island, the new Baboon Dino is probably the strongest thing you'll ever find, chat. But for now, Thyla is pretty good. My Thyla is fairly strong here, and as you can see, does a fair amount of damage. Highly recommend bringing antidotes, as you might have seen in the bottom right corner there. These bats will give you super rabies, and the only way to get rid of that is with a minor antidote potion. Otherwise, it will kill you over time. Having high-end armor, weaponry, highly recommended for these caves. If you don't have all of the advanced technology and gear that I do, you do want to bring in your most sturdy armor, your best shotgun, and as I mentioned, a dinosaur is the easiest way to do this. Having a mount that you can ride is significantly easier than trying to do it without. If you want to give yourself a bit of a challenge, it definitely can be good doing it without the mount. It is designed to be done that way. But everything in here will poison you, stun you, and kill you very, very quickly. So without a mount, you are giving yourself much lower odds of succeeding. So as you can see, this pathway here winds around all the way down into the cave. There are a number of explorer notes in the cave as well. We'll touch on that on another time. The artifacts are quite enough to worry about on one video. But as you can see, my Thyla does a pretty good job of taking these guys out. The other great benefit of a Thyla is you can do this jump attack, which for the bats is quite useful because they can be quite difficult to hit with other teams sometimes. And of course, as soon as I get off my mount, they're going to swarm me, so I want to take out as many of these guys as I can. Okay, let's jump off here. There you go, you take him down, buddy. So here's our first artifact, the artifact of the Devourer. Nice and straightforward, chat, and as you can see, just down the bottom of this cave. So with a good mount, a good shotgun, some armor, you can do this fairly quickly. Antidote potions are a must. Both you and your mount can get poisoned. And that super rabies effect, depending on the health of your mount and yourself, will kill you in a matter of seconds. If you're here with other people and you're not familiar with super rabies, it will pass around people as well. It's something to be very careful of. Is that if anyone has super rabies and then you continue to run into each other, you will pass the super rabies around again and again and again, and it will never, ever, ever disappear. And we're back out. So that's our first cave. Just gonna Pokeball up our dino here. And we'll get out of here. Artifact 1 of 10. Get stuck underneath there. Perfect. Okay. So the second artifact on the path that we're going to take is actually an underwater artifact. So we're going to fly as close as we can to the entrance point, which is over by the swamps. Come down the west coast of the island over here. This is probably one of the top 3 most difficult caves on the island. The island has a good variation of caves. That one is one of the easier ones realistically, with some antidotes and a decent pet. You can do that one quite well. This underwater one has significantly high level alpha dinosaurs. There are 2 trains of thought on this. I'm going to take in a fairly strong Basilosaurus. The reason I recommend a Basilosaurus is because they are one of the few underwater dinosaurs that is completely immune to both the jellyfish and the Electrophorus. So you can take a significant amount of hits and never ever get stun locked. Anything, even a Mosasaur or a Plesiosaur can get stun locked from jellyfish and an Electrophorus, and so I prefer the Bazzy. The other option for this cave, because it is quite difficult, is to get yourself a dolphin, an Ichthyosaurus, and put an absolute ton of speed into it, and just try and speed through before most of the dinosaurs render or have a chance to attack you. It's a popular way to do it. It's the way that I did it at first, because even with my Bazzy here, you're going to see this is quite difficult. So you'll see we're on the edge of the swamps over here. Location is 4587. And we're going to go down into the water here. Grab my saddle. And head down here. I'll bump up the gamma while we're under the water so you guys can see what's happening. But pretty much from this point, you're going to head straight down. And there's an entrance to the cave right here. So you'll see one of the benefits of my awesome spyglass, the thing that shows the location and shows that blue dot, is it's going to give you an indication of the levels of the dinosaurs that we're going to come across. You would have seen it in the previous cave with the bats, but in here you're going to see some pretty scary things in my experience. There's a Dunkleo at 160 just to start us off, and a pack of Electrophorus. There's a number of jellyfish. So I'm going to try and avoid as much of this as possible. Oh, and here's a whole pack of sharks. You can see already this one pack of sharks right there is doing a good amount of hit. I have capped out Ascendant armor on this dino, 350 armor on this Basilosaurus, and those sharks were still hitting me for 30 apiece. So you can imagine with a standard armor of, I think is about 30 for your regular armor on a Basilosaurus, you'd be looking at around about 300 damage per dinosaur that was biting you. You can do the math on that pretty quickly on how long you think your Basilosaurus might last, depending on how much health that you put into it. But I'm going to stand here and chomp these guys for a second. I can do a decent amount of damage. Okay, we need to get out of here. See, even with my armor, you can see how many dinosaurs are in here that are going to swarm you. It goes pear-shaped very fast, guys. Let's see if we can take out these megs. 190, 170, 110, 170, and we haven't even found an alpha yet. Okay. Get a little bit of energy back before we go down. So if you followed the path, it's fairly straightforward. You come in, you turn the corner. There is only one way from here. This is where most people get lost though. When you start to see the big oysters, if you continue to go straight to the end of this and up, there is a cave that has a number of the explorer notes if you're looking for those. But if you're looking for the artifact as we are, you'll see this tech pillar right here. And behind the tech pillar is a hole that goes deeper into this cave. And this is where you want to go, chat. And kill everything in this hole right here. As you can see, a lot more sharks, a lot more bad things. There are a lot of jellyfish and electrophorus, which again is why I prefer a Basilosaurus. You guys can bring in whatever you like, but do be aware that most underwater dinos will get stun locked by the electros and the jellyfish. Once you're down here, don't get distracted by the pretty blue lights. You basically want to clear out the dinos, go to the end here, and we'll see the artifact shortly. As you can see, you can try and speed run this with a dolphin. I have done it before, but it is highly risky. You want to have a dolphin with exceptionally high speed, stamina, and a good amount of health as well. And you just want to come in and out. Do not get distracted, because the longer you are in here, the more likelihood that something will attack you and you won't have a good day. So as we come around here, you'll see at the end of this little passage over here is the artifact. And again, we just swum over a number of sharks, diplos, jellyfish, and everything else that could possibly want to kill us under the water. Okay. And here's our second artifact. The artifact of the Cunning. Alright. Let's get out of this death hole, shall we, chat? Okay. So we're just going to retrace our steps along the blue lights, head back up through the hole, and get out of here before too many more dinos spawn back in. Honestly, not even sure what is biting me right now. Lucky we did not even find an alpha. Last time I was in this cave, I found 2 level 300 alpha sharks with over 30,000 health, and that starts to make things significantly more difficult. While I work my way out of this cave, again, if you have any questions about my location or suggestions for any of these caves or how to get through safely, by all means, feel free to post them in the comments section. And if you ever want to join us live, this is the first educational video I've ever put together. I do a lot of challenges live on stream though, both in terms of bosses and speed runs and other crazy challenges. So if you ever want to join us, you can come and find us at Mantikai Gaming on Twitch. Okay, 2 artifacts down, 8 to go. The next artifact is one that is a little challenging, not necessarily because the cave itself is difficult, but the cave is the lava cave. And for anyone that's ever tussled with lava in Ark, you'll know that lava is very, very, very unforgiving. Unless you have exceptionally high health, you will almost always die upon instantly touching lava, and you will lose all of your stuff because it's almost impossible, especially without mods, to recover a gear bag from the lava. But there is our first underwater cave. Okay. Let's jump on Amos, avoid that silly Ichthy that's trying to steal our stuff. Because I only have high-end stuff on me. I'd prefer not to have it eaten by a silly seagull. So you're going to continue to fly down the west coast here, guys. And this is going to take us into the lava cave. Again, the cave is full of scorpions, bats, centipedes, other vicious things. I recommend bug spray is good, antidotes are a necessary thing, and taking a mount can be quite useful. Again, most of these caves were designed to be used without a mount before cryopods were really a thing. But now that you can do it this way, why wouldn't you? So here we are, 7086, as you can see in the top left-hand corner there. And this is the entrance to the lava cave. So I'm going to come on in here. And I'm going to pull out my favorite caving dino, which is my beautiful kitty cat. So again, not only is this cave difficult in terms of lava, but you want to be very careful in terms of getting lost in here. My favorite method of navigating this cave is by following this right-hand wall. You can pretty much follow this wall the entire way. So you can see right here it hooks around. I've already got myself some very nicely colored bats. Okay. Come on in here. We've got spiders, scorpions. As you can see, I'm just following this right-hand wall the entire time, guys. So we're going to turn right here. And continue to turn right and follow this wall here. Obviously choosing not to fall in the lava. There are a couple of points you need to jump. You can see someone has come in here and put bridges down because we have been on this server for a while. You want to be careful. There are a couple of points if you use this method of following the right wall where you do need to jump across the gap. Whoa, there's a bat that I was not ready for. Made me jump there. Sorry for the camera work. That made me jump. But yes, you do want to be careful of those jump points. So I'm going to come down here, continue to follow this right-hand wall. You can jump across these or use grappling hooks if you're concerned about jumping across lava. Again, second jump point right here. Spiders, scorpions. And a final jump point right here. Kill these guys and empty our inventory before we try and jump this. I should have turned off harvesting on my dino. Alright, so let's get rid of all of this nonsense. We don't need any of this. Okay, jumping the gap. And continuing to follow the right-hand wall. Webbed. Come on. Come on. Dialers that love to blind you while you're deep in the cave. Or pretty bats. So many pretty Christmas bats. Come on. Come on. These bats have a surprising amount of health. They're actually extremely annoying when you're not riding a mount. If you haven't fought bats before, be very, very careful, guys. Alright, there we go. So, sticking to my right wall theory, I'm going to come down here, We're going to hang this right-hand turn. There is another jump right here. You can actually see the artifact directly in front. There are 2 jumps across lava at this point, though. So again, someone's come in here and put bridges for us. Grappling hooks are the safest way to do it if you're not comfortable jumping across lava. Otherwise, you can just make those jumps fairly easily. And there's the artifact of the Massive. And I always hit escape when I think that I'm trying to get out of that. Alright, and then the way out is the opposite of the way in, so follow the left-hand wall. If we're quick enough, we should be able to get out before all of the dinos spawn in behind us. We're following this left-hand wall the entire way. Make sure you've got grappling hooks. The way out, the jumps are a little more difficult. Like this jump up here without a dino or a grappling hook is very, very difficult. It is possible to do, but you are better off, given that the fall into lava means death, of bringing in some grappling hooks with you guys. Oh, so you got to be careful of wrong steps. Any wrong step in here is the end of a run. If you ever go back and watch any of my speedrun attempts, because I have one of the island speedrun times, you will see that I fall in the lava quite a lot when I'm trying to run through these caves. Okay, so continuing to follow the left-hand wall, we're almost out of the cave now. And there's our 3rd artifact. Okay, we're going to jump off this beautiful kitty cat. We're going to head over to our 4th artifact. Next one is arguably one of the easiest artifact caves. It's the artifact of the Hunter. And this is probably one of the first caves that people stumble across. It's right near the starting beaches, and people typically find this one pretty quickly. So you're going to follow the south coast of the island now. If I look at my map here, it's quite bright. We're going to follow the south coast, and you'll see at around about 50 longitude, there's a nice little harbor. And that harbor is where we're going. I'm a big fan of the Argies, especially with the mod that allows us to adjust their speed. Obviously you can swim, you can raft, you can ride any dino you like around. I highly recommend Argies if you haven't tried them out. They're very versatile, they're maneuverable in the sky, and they can be built up to be quite strong. But that's neither here nor there. We're focused on the artifacts today. So for the next artifact, you're going to come into this horseshoe cove here. On the right-hand side of this cove, you'll see this big rock, and you're going to follow the right-hand side of this rock. So I'm going to fly along this. You can do this on the ground, of course. And you'll see a natural pathway up here. And then up this pathway, we're going to find on the left-hand side the entrance to our cave. If I haven't passed it already. Aha! Here we go. Okay. The artifact of the Hunter. So we're at 8053 here at the entrance, guys. We're just going to come into this cave. So no big surprise here. This cave is full of snakes, spiders, scorpions, a couple of megalanias, some bats, things that you will be very, very intimately familiar with by now. At first, you're just going to go straight through. There's no twists or turns or anything. This is a great place to come and get some crystal. You can actually harvest these big nodes here. So if you need crystal early on in your island adventure, you can actually get it from this cave. We're going to follow this down until we get to this green room here that you can see is kind of glowing. You may get jumped by a megalania in here. Often one will fall from the ceiling. And this is your first choice. This is where the path splits. You want to follow the left-hand path. And then once you're down here, again, the path will split. You want to go to the left, guys. And here we're going to see a whole army of badness. Let's kill this army of badness real quickly here. A lot of dinos have a bad habit of spawning into the walls in these caves. So you may hear hissing and spitting from dinos you can't see. Odds are, like that spider that just came out of the wall, they're stuck in the wall. Oh, there's some more spiders coming through the walls. Perfect example of what I was just saying. Oh, I can hear more of them. There we go. Okay, we're just going to drop everything from our inventory. And move ahead here. So straight up at the end here, you'll see green mushrooms. And then there's an entrance cave underneath here, which is where we want to go. So as you can see, more things spawning out of the walls at me, so be careful around you. Don't just jump off your mount. Okay, so now I'm going to jump off my mount, go through here, and we have the artifact of the hunter. Probably one of the easiest artifacts to get. Come back to my mount. Now you have a couple of options. You can go back the way that we came in, guys. Very straightforward if you have a grappling hook or you've got a dino that can jump. If you don't have a grappling hook or a dino that can jump because you're starting on the island, you can actually go to the left here and stick to this right wall, and it will bring you around back to the same place. So this creates a bit of a loop. The cave does go deeper. There are many paths you can take, and there are 3 explorer notes in here that are great for experience. But if we're just looking for the artifact as we are here, you can see that loop brings me right back. I make the right hand turn, and I can get out of this cave. Right, 4 artifacts down, 6 to go. Something's attacking my RG out there. Let's put you back in here. So the next cave is one that I always struggle to find in the swamps, guys. Not gonna lie, it can be a difficult one to find the location of. Oh, it's an ichthy. Of course it's an ichthy. You should always be on neutral, Amos. Okay. So, the next one can be a little bit of a pain. When you look at your map, you want to head slightly northwest of where this cave was. Up towards the end of this river here. So you see there's a river on my left on the map. So to the end of that river. And then when the river splits, you're going to go straight forward. And you should see a rock face here. And unless I've gotten myself totally lost, which occasionally happens, this is where the cave is, guys. It can be very difficult to find in the darkness here. But this is the location, 6856. This is where we're going for the next cave. I'm willing to bet you will probably be able to guess what's in here. This cave tends to have a strange atmospheric anomaly, especially in the starting section, where it's very, very, very cold. So unless you have fur armor or Kalian soup or an otter, like I tend to wear, you will start to freeze in this cave. As you get further in, the cold does dissipate, but it will freeze you very quickly in this opening area. So coming into here, I'm just going to follow this right-hand wall. Actually, I'm not because I'm on a Thyla. Going to come up around this way. And then I'm going to drop down here. So if I'd followed the right-hand wall, I would have just come through that gap right there, guys. And I, again, like to follow the right-hand wall most of the way through this cave. Helps me from getting lost. These caves are designed to get you all turned around and confused. Okay, let's grab you in here. As you can see, it's been a little while since I've done this cave. Didn't remember where it gets narrow. Okay, so basically up to that point right there where you come out here, and we've got this low-hanging ceiling. From this point forward, we should be able to ride our kitty cat again, which is always optimal when we're dealing with bats. Okay, so there's a path across here, some more bats, some more snakes. Lots of things that want to poison you and knock you out and eat you for dinner. We've got a tight point right here. Can I not get through? Okay. Let's do this again. So as you can see, they really didn't want you to bring dinosaurs into these caves. They are designed to be walked through. If you have a group of people with shotguns, it's totally possible. You can kill most of these things with a rifle, sniper rifle, or shotgun up close. But given that I'm a solo in here, and I'm trying to do this relatively fast to show you guys all 10 artifacts, I'm just going to keep going with my lovely kitty cat companion here. Okay. These are the ones you really want to watch out for, guys, because the Araneos will destroy your armor as good as it might be. The trick for the Araneos is the bug spray. So bug spray you can not only put on yourself, but if you put it on your dinosaur, some things will not aggro on you or the dino until you choose to attack them, which can be super duper useful. Okay. We're going to just Pokeball you up for a second. But the Araneos, not the Araneos, the spiders, the centipedes are probably one of the worst things in here because they do destroy your armor. Okay. So as you can see, we've followed the right wall to this point. At this point, it does split to the left. If you go to the right, you'll come to a dead end that's just full of more bats and snakes and things. You won't get too lost. It'll have a quick dead end. But this is actually the point where you want to go left. To help you remember it, you might want to think about this big crystal up here or this rib-like structure. But this is actually where we want to kick down to the left. You'll know you've gone the right way when you come to this ruin right here, and there's an explorer note right there. Okay, there's some Araneos. Anthropluras, I mean. I always get the name wrong. Gonna reload my shotty. Snake just came out of the wall. As I told you, chat, dinos love to live inside the walls in these caves. And I've been poisoned again, so let's take some antidote. So now I'm sticking to the right wall. Aside from that one left-hand split, I'm sticking to the right wall the entire way. You know you're getting close when you see these distortions in reality. That's what the artifact does to the area around it. You're going to come down here and you'll find Megalosaurus. Excellent. You want to be careful of those guys. They can pick you up and shred you. You'll find this ruin right here, guys. There is a note in these ruins right there. But if you come down here to the edge of the water, kill the anthros. So now there's a series of underwater passageways. You can go through them. You need an underwater dino or a scuba suit or something along those lines. But if you look up here, it's a little hard to see with the gas, but there is an opening right there, guys. And that's where you actually want to go. So if I aim to the top of that opening and shoot a crossbow, pull myself up in here. This is actually where the artifact is. So you can go away through the long way, but if you don't have an underwater dino or you don't like underwater adventures, you can just jump up here and come in and grab the artifact. I'm not going to take you through the underwater passages. It's just a series of pretty straightforward passages. You can get turned around a little bit, but you will figure the way out. This is the easiest way though, guys. Okay, and then you can grappling hook or tech suit out or however you would like to do it. Alright, let's get out of here before too many bad things respawn. So the beauty of following the right-hand wall on the way in is that to get back out, we just follow the left-hand wall, guys. Follow the left-hand wall / the pile of corpses. We're going to follow it until we get to this split, and you'll know it's a split because you'll see all those dinos that you left alive in that little dead end, and you're going to turn up here. Now you're going to continue to follow that left-hand wall again, kill anything that's spawned behind you. Okay, and sticking to the left-hand wall. We don't want to get lost in these caves. Oh. Titan boa. Another Titan boa. Alright, we're going to run out of here. So we're following the ledge. This ledge will keep us up here. And on our way out. Okay. And that is our swamp artifact. Here's the gap we couldn't fit through with our Thyla. And we've made it outside. Perfect. 5 artifacts down, guys. Okay, let's drop that gamma again. So the next one that we're going to go to is another one that's considered one of the tougher ones on this map, and it's the Redwoods or the Gas Cave. So if you know the island at all, you'll know this giant center section is the Redwoods. Great place to get jumped and knocked out of a tree by a murder kitty. And if you don't have a murder kitty, this is where you can tame one. Also a good place to get some metal, some RGs, and a whole bunch of Explorer notes. Good trick for the Explorer notes. I know the focus of this video is the artifacts, but a good tip that I learned on stream, it was actually taught to me by one of our viewers, is that if you play on anything other than Ark Mobile, you can use a wolf to sniff out the notes. So if you are a bit of a completionist like myself and you do want to find all of those notes, you can use a wolf, and when you're riding the wolf and you press C, it will actually sniff and it will highlight with a little blue scroll when there is a note nearby. Okay, so right here, you'll see a nice blue lake, bit of a donut lake. There's a ruin over there with a couple of notes in it. And on this wall over here is our next cave, chat. Perfect. So, the exact coordinates, 6237 at the start of this one. The real difficulty of this cave, there are 2 things. Number 1 is the gas. There is a permeating gas in this cave that will kill you over time. You need to have a gas mask, guys. You need to have a gas mask. From what I am aware of, not even a tech mask will work. You need to have a gas mask. And this place is also full of bugs. And not just the big bugs we've been coming across so far, but it's actually full of millions, and I'm probably not kidding here, of mosquitoes. And it's the mosquitoes that swarm you in this cave. So if I put bug spray on myself and my mount again, I can choose when I want to fight things because they won't come at me unless my bug spray runs out. But you'll see these absolute swarms of mosquitoes. And you can see the levels on them. Level 405, level 280. And if you're not ready for these, they will swarm you very, 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 very fast. In fact, my bug spray is about to run out in a second. So we're going to see what happens when this happens. Alright, I'm going to put some more bug spray on. You can see level 300, level 400. Look at the levels, and look at this swarm here, guys. If these were attacking me and I didn't have a high level dino, I didn't have bug spray and good armor and things like that, you will very, very quickly get destroyed by these magnuras. I just call them mosquitoes because I can never pronounce their proper name in the game. Alright, we're just going to move through this cave here. There is a bit of a choke point here, if memory serves, where we can't get through without pokeballing our dino again. We're doing a bit of a jump. There we go. Okay. So a lot more spiders, snakes, and look at this swarm of mosquitoes, guys. Like, I'm not kidding when I say it's a lot of mosquitoes. And you want to bring backup gas masks, because if the anthros do aggro on you and spit, their spit will destroy your gas mask. And depending how far you are into the cave, you will very quickly die. Okay, when we do get to this room, just gonna finish off some more of these dinos here. So this is the entrance that we just came through. I just jumped through that entrance over there. We actually want to turn left. There is a cheeky way that you can also grapple up to this artifact, but it's quite difficult to do, and I actually find it easier with the bug spray and dino riding abilities to just follow the path. So you want to go to the left here. Follow this path. You can see all of the crazy amounts of mosquitoes. We're going to keep, and then at this next pool, we're again going to go to the left. I'm going to do this in a way that will hopefully be easy for you guys to replicate. So I'm going to follow this left-hand wall, but I'm not actually going to go to the first hole to the left. I'm actually going to go to the second one. So I'm not going to go to the first left entrance. I'm going to go to the second left entrance and follow this straight along. There is a side passageway just here. You do not want to take that one, guys. You want to go straight ahead until you're in this big room right here. And you can see just how many mosquitoes are aggroing on me right now. Start to see the levels. My dinosaur has 30,000 health, 20,000 health, and a 350 armor saddle. And you can already see it's starting to take damage from this cave alone. So here you can follow this wall around, or you can cut straight through the pool. It's just a big open area here. It's a great place to come and farm for red drops. It's one of the highest drop rates from red drops for a Rex saddle, which, as most players will know, is one of the hardest saddles to get an Ascendant one for. You can see there's a red drop right there. We wanted that. There's also leeches in this pool if you need leech blood, and there's some Ascendant flak leggings in that. The drop will either be up there or down here. But if we go across this pond, and again, I could have followed the wall all the way around, but I can come up here. Oh, I got that note without even realizing it. There's your Titanosaur note. So I'm going to come up here, Pokeball you, because you can't fit through this gap. And just up this little passage here is our artifact, guys. The artifact of the immune. A hilarious name for a cave that's full of poison. You do not have to go out the way we came in. If you just go straight ahead, there is a drop here. You can crouch down and get through. And this brings us back to that first pool room. And as I said, you can grapple up here, but because you have to crouch to get through it, it's a very tight grapple shot. Very easy to miss. And then this is where I came in, and we're gonna get back out of here. I still have my bug spray on, so none of these mosquitoes are gonna bother me, and most everything else is still dead. So bug spray, a good dino, a Megatherium will fit in there, and a Megatherium gets the buff when it kills bugs. So if you don't have a good Thyla, a Megatherium can be a really, really good option in there, guys. But there is our 6th artifact. Okay. Next one we're going to go to is over by the volcano. So we're going to go to our north here. There's the volcano. We can kind of see through the fog. And just to the right, off the right edge of the volcano, is the next cave. For those that don't know, it's not an artifact cave, but it is the final boss cave, is inside the caldera of the volcano. But now we're looking for the artifacts. So we're going to head over here to this right-hand side of the volcano. You can see it coming out of the fog to my left. Going to keep following this right-hand side of the volcano until the tree line disappears to our right. You can see it's pretty thick trees down to my right. And then you can already see the opening appearing over in the distance there. This is a pretty obvious cave. It stands out from a mile away as it tries to render in. Okay. So we are at 4147 at the entrance to this cave. And this one isn't too special. Snakes, spiders, scorpions, all of the fun things that we're used to by now, guys. You can do this with a high-end shotgun or, again, with a mount. Let's take a mount in here just to make it easier. And I like to come in here and stick to this right-hand wall like I do in most of our maps. Oh, it's glitching out a little bit there. So most of these caves I find sticking to the right is typically the right way to go. Oh, we're getting a little bit of lag there. Not optimal when fighting a Megalosaurus. Okay. So sticking to this right-hand wall, coming down here. You'll see I'm pretty much already at the artifact. Whole bunch of bad things here. Okay, snakes, scorpions, anthros. There's even some crocs in the water for those that are interested. But sticking to the right-hand wall, here's our artifact. And again, in every single one of these artifact caves, there are also explorer notes if you're looking for those as well. So there's the artifact of the clever. And then we can do what we've done in every cave and follow the left-hand wall out of here. So back past these green glowing mushrooms and crystals. Follow the left-hand wall every chance that we can. See, good source of crystal and obsidian in here. Good source of chitin from all of the bugs that you're going to kill. Lots of metal nodes. So if you can survive, you can get some of the rarer resources in the Ark in these caves. And we are out of here. Alright, we're going to Pokeball up Light Fury. And now, we're down to the last 3 caves. 1 underwater and 2 in the ice. 2 of which are also very, very difficult. So, we're going to head slightly northeast of here to get to the next one. We're going to come into the frost zone. So again, you're going to need something to protect you from the frost, guys, especially inside this cave. Can be good for, fur armor, can be Kalian soup. I'm a big fan of the otter. The otter is adorable. For those that don't know how the otter works, the more melee strength, or melee, depending how you pronounce that word, your otter has, the more it protects you from the elements. So as you come here, you'll see the river, you'll see this broken shelf of ice, and you'll see this cave entrance over here. And this is where we're going. So the entrance to this cave is at 2932. You can see there's another good amount of crystal here for those that need crystal. And you don't even have to go into the deadly part of the cave to get that crystal. So it can be a great place to get that stuff to begin with. This is considered one of the toughest caves, along with the water one that we already did, because this one has exceptionally high wolves, bears, and probably worst off, palovias. The palovias are by far the worst things in here. There's a 175 wolf waiting for us. There we go. Oh, and there's a 150 polar bear. Okay. Oh, there's another wolf. Hey, buddy, where'd you go? Gotta get our dino out here. Okay. So the palovias are by far the worst thing in here, because they will dismount you off almost any dino, guys. And there's almost nothing you can do to stop them. But there are a few ways to preempt it. So I'm just going to turn off my collection. I'm going to make sure that you're on neutral in case I do get knocked off. So palovias, if you look over there, you'll see there's one out of the ground. And there's also a pile of dirt. Those piles of dirt are uncovered palovias. The ones that are out already, they can't jump at you. They're actually not your concern, guys. It's the ones that are still under the ground that will jump at you. So a couple of things you can do for that. Number one, you can throw grenades. If you throw a grenade at a buried palovia, it will dig it up. It will blow it out of the ground. Same with rocket launchers. That will work. Rocket launchers are a good way to damage yourself, though. Oh, there we go. So I've been stunned and my dino's been stunned, and we're in the cold water, so we're losing health. Let's get out of the cold water. Come on. Oh god, again. This is why this is the worst cave. In fact, I could be in trouble here if I don't get de-stunned pretty soon. I'm just gonna fly away from all of that crazy. This is why I bought a tech suit with me. As a solo, I did not want to die. Oh. Okay, let's get out of the cold water. Okay. There we go. And that's why health potions are good. Even with a high-end tech suit, you can see I almost died in the entryway of this cave, guys. 295 wolf. And with the wolf howl pack bonus, definitely considered one of the more difficult caves on the map. Okay. Well, for now, we are alive. Oh, come here, Mr. Oddly. Hey. Hey, where you going? Stop doing that. Okay. So, as I was saying. Alright, I think we're back. So as I was saying, you can blow the palovias out of the ground. And that is the easiest way to do it. Let's force feed this guy some meat. Actually, you're totally fine. You can also whistle your dinos to attack them. So there's a polar bear. That wolf howl's gonna hurt us. Okay, even with my armor, you can see these guys are hitting me for about 15 damage. And armor is a direct reduction on dinos. So if I, instead of 325 armor, I had 30, 50 armor, I'd be taking 300 damage a hit from these dinos. Just to give you guys some perspective on this cave. A group of people with some strong dinos and geared up and ready to go is the best way to do this. Solo, unless you are very geared up, like myself, not necessarily recommended, guys. Come on. Also, taking it slow and steady is recommended. $220 Yeti. 275 Yeti. So these Yetis have almost 10,000 health. And this is on a standard server with a 150 maximum damage dinos. Maximum level dinos, I should say. So the other option I was going to mention before... Oh, they're already charging me. If you don't have grenades or rocket launchers, but you do have a couple of dinos with you, is that you can whistle attack. So send your dinos forward. One or two of them may get stunned by the leaping Palovias, but at least you won't get knocked off and you won't die. And that's kind of the main focus in here, guys, is keeping yourself alive. All right, see, so there's a Palovia right there. Come on. And I got too close to that one that I was just telling us to avoid. Okay. So one... Oh, okay. Wow. Did not even see that one. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay. So once we come down this passageway, don't go to the right unless you want to kill a lot of stuff for no good, guys. There are notes in here. There are drops in here. There are some pretty good drops in here, but it is a very difficult cave. I do not recommend staying in here unless you're feeling very, very confident. What I recommend is sticking to the left path this time. This is going to take us through to the next zone. See why I said armor is very, very important in here, guys. See how much trouble I'm having even with everything that I've got. Okay, so we're following this left-hand path here. And you'll see a giant open room. If you come down, continue to follow the left path. The idea is that you're supposed to go across these little icebergs. But if you have a jumping dino or a grappling hook, up here to the left where these crystals are is actually where you want to go, guys. You'll need something to break the crystals again, unless you have a jumping dino or a grappling hook. Got a yellow drop, Ascendant Blueprint, Caprasuchus, very nice. Okay. There's not a lot of ways we can go wrong here, except for the fact that we're gonna have to fight this giant army of crazy up here. Look at this. This is not going to be pleasant. Oh, we almost got knocked out. That would have been a bad place to be knocked down by a Palovia, guys. Hucking a couple of grenades into that room would make a lot of sense. It would knock any Palovias out of the ground. This actually might be where I... Oh, whistle my dino forward. Make sure you won't follow. There we go. No, you don't want to go attack them? Okay. That's fair. I wouldn't want to go attack those dinos either. There's a Palovia right there in the middle. Yeah, I don't want to go into that room if I can avoid it. Okay. We're just going to shoot some shoddy shells into that room then, chat. Come on. Come on. So, to put things in perspective, I have a 270% 700% damage shotgun. So, you guys can compare your shotguns to that and determine if you would want to be walking around with armorer's shotgun in here like I'm doing. How you doing, buddy? Okay. So, you don't want to go into the freezing cold water. Continue to follow the path around to the right. More Palovias, more Yetis. As you guys can see, one of the hardest caves. Ton of damage in here. lot of damage to eat through. These guys have 10,000 health apiece. The bears and the yetis. The Palovias will knock you down. The wolves get their howl bonus and their pack bonus. So there's a lot of bad things in here. We're going to hopefully get through this quick enough that we can get back out without having to refight absolutely everything. Oh, there we go. Fantastic. What is... Whoa. Okay, not optimal. Not a good place for a lag spike. Okay. What have we got down here? I think I see a couple of buried Palovias. So we're not going to push forward into that until we've taken out most of these guys. You can see a clever person has put a number of sleeping bags through this cave. It's a good idea. Highly recommend it, guys. Dino's really not listening to my whistles this evening. Why are you not listening? Hey? You're supposed to... Oh. Okay, let's try this. Are you gonna go that way? You're not gonna go that way, eh? There we go. So send your dino ahead to get the stun and the jumps of the Palovias. Stand back with the shotgun. Alright, for anyone that's lost, I have been killing a lot of things and spinning around a bit. This is the entrance we just came in. We've come down to the left here. And I'm just going to follow this left-hand wall for now. So you can walk around it, around these crystals. Staying to the left. Oh, there's another Palovia. And there's a whole pack of wolves. I kinda need you to stop being stunned. Okay. If you don't have a tech suit like me to fly away from danger, I do always recommend grappling hooks. Grappling hook up walls is a great way to get away from big groups of nasty dinos. 13,000 we're down to already. Okay, this cave has absolutely decimated our poor dino. Oh. Come on. Uh-oh. My tech leggings are broken. That's not optimal. Okay. Come here, buddy. Come on. Alright, this is why we bring spare armor. In fact, I'm going to put on my flak armor for now instead of my tech. Actually, except for the tech jetpack. Okay, so we've come down here, we've followed the left wall. We've now got a three-way split. I want to go dead straight, guys. Poor kitty cat only has to get through 2 more caves. And then we're all done after this one. Okay, so we go straight here. And then we're going to turn left at this fork. There's a nice red drop up there. If you'd taken the left at the three-way split, it would take you up top to that drop. For anyone that's looking for those. Okay, some more crystal. You have to go through this. So again, you want to bring a pickaxe to break that down or something that can jump over it. You can see why this is considered pretty much the hardest cave in the map. The water one is up there for me because it is very hard. You can't even support your dinos in the water cave because guns and things don't work. So I personally dislike the water cave that we did more. But this cave is very dangerous. We have taken 7,000 damage in here with 325 armor and a dino with 20k health that's hitting for 700 damage a hit. So you can compare that to whatever dinos you're rocking and see if you think you would survive. Whoa! Come on. I don't think Light Fury can die in here, but we're going to be very careful. We may have to stop and heal our kitty cat. I didn't think we'd have to do that in this cave, but it goes to show you just how dangerous this cave can be. How you doing, Light Fury? Okay. Got another bear, another Palovia. We're almost there, guys, but it is a very long cave. Starting to see that distortion in reality, which shows that there's tech and element going on, and we're getting close to the artifact. Okay. Come down here. I don't see any buried Palovias, although I've missed a lot of them so far. Trying to show you guys how to pick out buried Palovias so they don't jump you, and I've been jumped by a lot of Palovias now. Okay, there's another red drop over there. Pump action shotgun and a scuba tank, very nice. So now I'm following this left wall for those that have been keeping score. Oh, there's another Palovia jump. Luckily, they're attacking the kitty right now. As much as I love my kitty, she can take a lot more hits than I can. Yeti just standing here. So anytime you're in the water in these ice caves, you will take significant, well, not significant, but you will take damage per second, as you saw at the start of the cave. So you want to be very careful of that. Because the bears and the yetis and even the Palovias, you can see, do knock you back. So you want to position yourself where you're not going to get knocked into the water. Preferably. I do recommend grenades in this cave. Just huck them into groups. They'll knock the Palovias out of the ground. They'll do damage to things. Grenades aren't too difficult to make at first. And they can come very much in handy in a cave like this. Oh, oh. Go away. Oh, Light Fury's in the water. Of course you are. Come here. Okay. We're so close. Don't get too rushy, though. You don't want to get jumped by a Palovia at the last second and waste all of your effort. You can see the artifact right up there underneath the giant monkey. Kill this last bear. Come on up here. And there we go. Artifact of the Strong. Fitting for a bear and yeti cave. Okay. And then we backtrack and hope that not too many things have respawned. Okay, I'm going to reload my gun really quickly, just in case anything is respawned. Light Fury is taking quite a beating. So we're going to backtrack now. I'm following the right-hand wall. For those that got lost on the way in while I was fighting things, following this right-hand wall. Gonna jump over this crystal, continue to follow the right-hand wall. There's an indent there, that almost threw me off. And here's the actual turn. straight through our multi-way split and up the path. Oh, a couple of things already starting to respawn here. Remember, this is where we saw that giant group of creatures. So we're going to turn and come down this narrow passageway. Jump over our crystals again. This is where we've got the icy stepping stones. If you're very good with a grappling hook, there is one other way to do this, chat. And that is by doing the Spider-Man approach. You can Spider-Man through this cave. It is exceptionally difficult, not recommended by me, but I have some people who have tried it and succeeded, and it is a potential. And for those who have picked up on the fact that I call you all chat, it's a bad habit I picked up from our streaming. As I mentioned, I am predominantly a streamer. And here we go. We've got more dinos back up. Palovias. There's a buried Palovia right there. There's that buried Palovia. Excellent. Okay. Remember, you can go into these side areas. There are treasure chests and things, supply drops. But I'm personally not a fan, just because this cave is deadly enough without spending any more time in here than necessary. Uh-oh. You can see, even with all of the gear, the dinos, everything that I've got, this cave has tested us to the maximum as a solo. Oh, come on. It's so easy to miss these Palovias. It's not the ones above the ground you've got to worry about, guys. It's the ones in the holes. You can actually, and I have done this before, for a good chunk of the cave, except for the narrow section we were in down there, you can walk a Rex through some of the bigger sections of this cave, and the Palovias can knock you off a Rex, but there is a significantly lower likelihood of being knocked off a Rex. It is much harder for the Palovias to reach you, and they have to get a very lucky jump for that to be a possibility. And this is our exit. Just gonna kill this guy, get our poor kitty cat out of here. Alright, that is 8 artifacts down, guys. We only have 2 left. One more frost cave, which is nowhere near as difficult as this, but does have a very important thing to be aware of. And then one more underwater cave, which is significantly easier than the last underwater cave. Okay. There we go. So, next cave. We're going to the top northeast corner of the map, over the top of the mountain that has the blue obelisk here. So this is the second of the frost caves. This one is much easier than the last one. It's back to bats and spiders. The significant risk in this one, guys, that you have to be very, very careful of is there is a drop similar to the lava that is an insta-kill. It is a out-of-bounds zone in the game. I don't know why these exist. They are ridiculous, but they exist in some caves. And by out of bounds, what it does is it instantly kills and deletes your character and their gear. I probably shouldn't say delete, because you can respawn your character and you'll have your levels and your engrams and things, but all of the gear that was in whatever bag that you had is gone. You cannot get it back. It is lost to the underworld of Ark. So you do want to be very careful of that. So here's the entrance. We are at 1919, right up here on the coastline. You can walk down this path or fly in like I've done. Smart people always leave sleeping bags around, and then you crouch in through the entrance. No one will be surprised that we stick to the right-hand wall in here to find our way through. There are a number of ways to get lost in here, and a couple of points where you can fall into these holes that I'm talking about that will kill you. So sticking to the right-hand wall, you can see some bats, some spiders. So right there is a hole that if you fall in that hole, you will lose your stuff, guys. So sticking to this right-hand wall here, you'll hear bats and spiders and all sorts of fun things around. Just be careful. Again, if you have healing potions, a good shotgun, and antidotes, you should be okay. Okay. So staying on this right-hand wall. Ah, I knew I could hear you around. Whoa. Where did I just go? There we went. A little bit of a glitch there, not optimal in a cave that has things you can fall in and instantly die. So this is the worst part of this cave right here, guys. This ledge. So a lot of people will go across this ledge, and the artifact is right there on the other side. You can grapple across that, but this is a point that if you fall into this gorge here, there is no recovery, guys. It will delete all of your things. The easier option is this is where we're gonna take a slightly different route. Alright, come on. Reload, reload, reload. See, without some very high level gear in here, I would be in a lot of trouble. Okay. I got very, very turned around fighting those things, guys. So let me figure out where we are for you. So this is where we came in. We followed this right-hand wall. Follow the... Oh, and there's one more onyx here. So we follow the right-hand wall until we get to this bridge. You can take that if you want. I don't recommend it. For all it takes is one small slip up or one little arc glitch or delay, which you've seen happen 3 times already in this cave. This is where I would bypass that, continue to follow the right-hand wall, and come into here. You follow this path instead. As you can see, you'll have to fight a lot more things. But now I'm still sticking to this right-hand wall. I have to fight things, but I can deal with that with armor and guns. I cannot deal with falling and dying. And here we are, at the artifact of the Skylord. So again, if you fall in this hole here, if you follow that path, you'll come to that gap where I just showed you behind. I recommend backtracking, follow the left-hand wall. It's up to you how much risk you are willing to take with your character, guys. If you fall in those holes that I pointed out to you, you will die, you will lose your stuff. Okay, so following this left-hand wall all the way, all the way, all the way. And there we go. So it's not a very, very, very big or difficult cave if you've got good armor and a gun. But it has the potential to just end your stuff, which is a big concern in that cave if you're not familiar with it. Alright guys, and now we're at the final one. This one, compared to the ones we've done before, is nowhere near as difficult. You can do this with a dolphin that has some good speed. You can do this with a decent Basilosaurus. There are some jellyfish and electric eels in here, so again, I recommend the Basilosaurus so you don't get stun locked and die. I came in here with some pretty low-end dinos with a friend of mine the first time. And we managed to kill the alpha Mosa that we found in here because there's a point where you can go above water and just sit on a ledge and shoot it with crossbows if you really don't have a strong enough dino. But if you do have a strong dino, you can just go through here pretty straightforward. So you're going to come down the east coast of the map now, about halfway down here. I'll show you exactly where it is, as we've done with every other one. And we'll get this last artifact. And as you can see, it's taken us around about an hour, maybe a little over an hour, with some good dinosaurs, good gear, to go through and get all of these artifacts. If you don't have such high-end gear or dinos, it might take you a little bit longer, but it still shouldn't be too bad. So this last artifact, if you can barely see it through the fog, but there's the red obelisk there, and as you come around, there's this jut of land right here. So you come from the point of land up the coast until basically where these rocks are. And right here is where you want to go down and under the water. You can see there's some jellyfish and whatnot. So this is why straight off the bat I like having a Basilosaurus instead of anything else. I'm going to put my tech armor back on so I can breathe under the water. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so same as the last one, you pretty much want to find that point and go straight down. There's a big rock right here, and I'm just to the right of this rock. We're going to keep going down. And we were just coming on the top of the cave entrance right here. Alright. So we're going to come in here. Again, we're looking at sharks, eels, jellyfish. The biggest thing you may find in here, it sometimes spawns, and you want to be prepared for it, is an alpha mosasaur. Probably one of the toughest things in the water. About 40,000 to 60,000 health, depending on the level of it, and it will do a decent amount of damage per bite. But it's a pretty straightforward cave. There's not a lot of twists and turns. You come up here, dead end, so you're going to turn left. This splits left and right, but they actually both take you to the same place. You can see if there's nothing killing you, there's some pearls on the floor here that you can pick up if you're looking for silica pearls. The entrance to the cave is fairly empty until we get a little bit further in. So you can come here to farm silica pearls. Alright, and as I come forward here, see this is the first point where we can go above the water, and now we're going to start to find megs. Here's our level 300 megs. There is a mosasaur, a regular mosa. Oh, there is a red glow down that way, which means there's an alpha over there. There's an alpha meg down there. So if we had gone the right path would have taken us parallel to this one, but then through this little gap here. So by taking the left path, we've actually avoided some dinos, which is good. It'll speed this up a little bit. But whether you go left, straight ahead, or right and around, it brings you over to here. You can get out of the water over there. Either way, you want to go through this gap right here, where the orange crystals are, guys. And you're going to follow this around. You may or may not get attacked by other things as you come through here. You can see lots of jellyfish. Just going to follow this around. Lots more jellyfish. They don't bother with a Mosa of my level, or Basilosaurus of my level, I should say. Oh, there's another red glow down there. What do we have? Another Alpha Meg, this time a 120. And as alphas do... You know what? Oh, no, he's coming. I was going to say, we're not going to bother this guy. He's not bothering us, but he decided he wanted a piece of us. And alphas naturally aggro everything in the water around them. If you're not familiar with that, guys, so be ready to fight everything. This is why going in the water is a dangerous proposition on the Ark. There you go. See, it's pulling some mantas from across the way. We didn't even see those mantas before, but now they're coming in because the alpha's aggroed. And 42,000 health on that alpha. So this is why I recommend a Basilosaurus. I always go about 20,000 health in my Basilosaurus, and then the rest in attack, with just enough in stamina and weight that I can get around. You will eat a lot of fish with the Bazzy, so weight is important. Otherwise, you're going to have to keep stopping and emptying your inventory. Okay, so after the alpha's dead, we keep following the path around. Again, it's just a straightforward path. It's almost impossible to get lost in this cave, guys, unlike some of the others. We got more mantas and stuff. You can see the mantas don't even bother with us until an alpha aggroed them. Jellyfish, mantas, some more sharks. We'll get rid of these. So you can see these are definitely cave level sharks. Level 260, 240. And then in this pool, right in the middle, there it is. You can see right there, we've got the artifact. Don't jump straight off your mount, because as you can see, I've got a number of Electrophorus here. I've got a number of those, I always forget the name of those things in shells that spit ink, but those are around as well. Oh, an Alpha Mosa. There you go, guys. I said there might be one here, and there it is. A 170 Alpha Mosa. You know what? It hasn't bothered us yet. I'm kind of tempted just to leave it alone. It does seem to be swimming into that rock pretty aggressively. Alright, we're going to keep an eye on it, but if it doesn't aggro, I'm not going to bother fighting that right now. It's just going to be 5 more minutes of you guys watching me chomp stuff. Alright, so let's grab our final artifact of the 10, get back on our Basilosaurus, and get out of the range of a 170 Alpha Mosasaur. So that right there is the island, guys. You need all 10 artifacts to fight the 3 different guardians on the island. You have the dragon, the broodmother, and the Gigantopithecus boss. And then after you beat all 3 bosses, you can take on the overseer, and all of the bosses and the overseer have gamma, beta, and alpha levels. Depending what level you beat, you'll unlock different engrams. By beating the overseer, you ascend off the arc, which will allow your character to breach the level 100 level cap, if you're not familiar with that concept. Almost all of the main storyline maps, except for Scorched Earth, have the ability to ascend by beating the final boss, and that then allows you to extend your level cap. Eventually, if you beat all of the bosses at alpha level, I believe you can get up to about level 135. I could be wrong on that count, though. That's one of the things that I'm not necessarily 100% sure on. I may know all of the artifacts on the island here, and hopefully this has helped you guys out, but there's still a ton that I need to learn, and a ton that anyone could learn about Ark. I feel that every stream we do, someone comes in and teaches us all something new. But we're just going to work our way back out to the surface here, show you guys the way back out, so you make sure you've seen the way in and the way out and don't get lost anywhere. Again, it's pretty straightforward. This is one of the easier caves if you've got a decent underwater tame. The caves that you really want to be wary of are the one in the snow that has the bears and the yetis and the palovias. The other ice cave, just because of those death drops. The lava cave, because of lava. You want to be very careful you don't fall in the lava. And the other water cave is actually the harder of the two water caves. But for now, that is us done. As we make our way back up to the surface here. Pokeball up, Willy. And get out of the water. And there it is, guys. So that is the 10 artifact locations on the island, the first map of Ark Survival. Arguably, in my opinion, one of the best maps on Ark Survival because it has a great range of caves, some very difficult, some quite easy, and some that require some very specific mechanics like the gas cave in the Redwoods. But good luck with your Ark adventures. I hope this helped. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up or come and say hello in the Twitch channel when I'm live streaming sometime. Have a great one, guys, and thank you for hanging out. Again, I'm Mantikai Gaming, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video.